Vanderbilt doing offensively, or are you guys struggling defensively to kind of led to the high scoring numbers?
Well, they really play with 4 guards, and we knew what they did. They do it very well. They do it very well. A lot of trying to really penetrate, put pressure on you constantly. We switched a few times. We didn't do our coverage nearly as much as we wanted to, and but again, I think you got to give Vanderbilt credit for that. I'm not sure. I told the team the way we finished the first half was really not good. I mean, we got to stop fouling 3-point shooters, and we left our feet, gave up 2 easy baskets at the rim. Dug ourselves a hole there, but just proud of our guys for fighting back. Had a chance, obviously, to possibly send it in overtime, and just give Vanderbilt credit. I thought they played hard. I thought they played with a real sense of purpose, and got a lot in the lane on us, which again, you give them credit because they had to carve out and fight for that space, and they got it. Too many second chance points that we gave up, but again, you got to give them credit for that.
We'll go Mike, Grant, Reese.
Yeah, Rick, you had Zakai with 2 fouls with about 7 minutes there in the first half. Is there any thought to putting him back in?
No, because I mean, I thought we could stay there. I mean, if you think about it, it ended. What was the score at halftime?
30,
Down 6.
We were down 6, but it's a 2-point game, and we were there and switched for no reason and fouled a 3-point shooter. And if we'd have switched, we had the coverage we wanted, but we just switched for no reason and gave a terrific shooter a wide open shot, and then we fouled him. But no, we weren't going to risk that because I thought we were able to. If we just hold it right there, but again, we had that defensive lapse in it, and it hurt us. And we came out. Again, give them credit. I mean, we still got to. It's about us. We still got to improve, and we can get so much better, but we're going to have to do it.
Rick, are you surprised that your team didn't handle that segment better without Sakai on the floor based on?
Yeah, I did. I mean, again, we could have stayed right there with them. I mean, but again, it was just a simple defensive play that we didn't handle. I mean, there's just no reason for it, and there's never a reason to foul 3. I thought Sakai's 3-point foul was ridiculous that he would put himself in that situation. I mean, he fouled. He can't do that. I mean, you're talking about 2 seniors that, and I love them to death, but we can't foul 3-point shooters. We've done it too much this year, and today we did it, and those 4 points are huge. And it's just we can't do that.
Coach, in the back here, how much was communication on the defensive end an issue today?
I'm sorry?
How much was communication an issue on the defensive end today?
Well, again, I can't tell you other than we keep asking, why are we doing this? And I think it's guys where they've got to understand it. We haven't had a lot of miscommunication problems this year, but we had some today. And again, all I can tell you right now, without looking at the film, is I've got to give Vanderbilt credit for it because I don't know why we were doing some of the things that we were doing.
So Wes, Gentry, Page, Ben.
Rick, I know you'll probably want to see film back on it, but some of those offensive rebounds Vandy had, is that just the ball bouncing that way, or is that getting out?
They made some early, but obviously they had a high level of motion going, which is you would expect in at home and playing Tennessee, and they made some shots, and Felix left his feet a couple times. I thought he should have stayed down. I thought we should have made him see they could have made some shots there, and they cleaned it up on the backside. But again, you got to give them credit for carving out that position to be there. And I didn't think we had the same rust on the offensive boards. I looked at a few clips at halftime and that we normally need and what we need to have. But tough game, hard fought, and again, I got to give Vanderbilt a lot of credit. I think Mark had his guys ready to play. I think we'd say he probably executed. We did obviously better job at the end of the game. They had the lead and was probably trying to work the clock a little bit, got themselves in some shot clock violations, allowed us to kind of climb back in it. But it's hard to coach when you got a lead. It's hard to coach when you don't have one. But I'm proud of our guys for fighting back. They kept trying to hang in there and try to get something going, and again, put ourselves in a position to possibly. We had the ball. We maybe could have shot a 3 to go for a win, but we didn't. We weren't ready, willing to do that. We thought if we could get it to overtime, you know, we take our chances there.
Rick, when you look at what Mark has done in his first year here at Vanderbilt with essentially a brand new team, what is it about them you think that's allowed them to come together as quickly as they have and have the success they've
Well, I'd
had
give
so far?
Mark and his staff a lot of credit for it. I'd also give the players a lot of credit for it because we've seen it around the country where it hasn't worked. And the fact that if I were from the outside looking in, I would say what I would say about our guys. I think they knew what they were looking for. I think how he wants to play, and I think he got guys to fit his system, how he wants to play. And you know, he's got some high-level portal guys and have been in big games. And I think the thing he's done, he would probably tell you, is he's got the system he wants to play with, that he's played with, and he got a group of guys that came in and bought into it.
Vanderbilt cashed in on a number of turnovers by Tennessee. How frustrating though were the ones that came off of bad passes or loose balls? You can't do that. Some of the passes that we're flipping into the backcourt, falling over, those type things, you can't do it. And every possession in this league is valuable. You look at every game, if all teams are playing well, you gotta expect games like this every night. You don't expect teams to get up big, but that's the ebbs and flows of the game. But in the end, you expect them to be hard fought, close, and you can't throw lifelines out there. And those turnovers like that are just basically giving you an opportunity to score some points, but just basically giving them points, because we tell our guys all the time, there's no defense for open court turnovers. There's nothing we can do. Bad passes that lead to those easy baskets, and there's just no defense for it.
Rick, with Chaz, he got a shot going today, but then had 5 turnovers as well, and then the end game sequence. So what's your message to him right now, I guess?
Well, he's going to adjust. I mean, people are being very physical with him, and we can throw out freedom of movement. That rule's gone. I mean, they've made a big emphasis of it. I mean, I can say it both ways. I can say that against us. I mean, if they're going to I can show you tape of us, everybody, guys coming off screens, arms are wrapped around them. I mean, it's. But if that's the way they're going to call the NCAA tournament, that's the way they got to call this. And we've always said, I've always believed when you get in the NCAA tournament from an official standpoint, they don't replay no calls normally. So they let go. And if that's the way it's going to be, that's good. So we can all adjust to it, because what's really tough is when you're in a league where they're calling this and that. And I can tell you from experience, that tournament's called different, which I think is great. And if we're going to do this now, we all have to adjust to it. And but that rule is, we can forget that rule, because there's not a lot of movement out there. And I'd say the same thing about the way we try to play defense.
We're gonna get to everyone else who had their hand up, and then that's it. We're going middle of the second row here, and then Jack.
Speaking about Chaz, this is the only free throw that he missed all day. How tough is that for him, especially being a local guy? And is there any substitute for experience in a moment like that?
No, I mean, this is all new for him. I mean, I go back, Chaz is such a great person. He's great. He's so unselfish. I hate it for him. Our team does, because he wants to win. But imagine 4 years ago, man, he was averaging 2 points a game. Then 4 last year. He had a good year. The next thing you know, he's one of the most sought after players in the country. And he picked Tennessee for all the right reasons. And he's very humble. Maybe not selfish enough in some regards, because I could tell him, do more, be more aggressive, do this, do that. But he's learning to play at a whole different level. I mean, it's a whole different level. I mean, the physicality that he has seen to this point, he didn't get it ever. And it's not going to change. So he's going to have to keep learning how to deal with it. And it's going to be movement, speed, getting separation. But I do think his teammates are trying hard to get him open. Everybody was wanting to down him, and we've talked to him enough about what options he's got to get to, but he's just going to have to get to him quicker.
Go to Jack, and then the remaining hands I saw, Ryan, Mike, Grant, Reese, and that's it.
That 12-0 run out of halftime for Vanderbilt, how crucial was that to the flow of the game, and then what needs to change for Tennessee to not let that sort of run happen?
Well, it's going to happen. I mean, they're a good team. I mean, we've had runs. I mean, we had a run like that the other night against Georgia. It's going to happen. I mean, it's basketball. And again, you give them credit for it. I mean, some of it could be their defense creating this or that. It could be us having a wide open shot, missing it. And they had a run out tonight where we had a great look. They contested, took off, ball bounced the right way. I mean, it happens to all of us sometimes. But again, our guys fought back, kept grinding, and, but didn't have enough at the end to get it done.
What'd you say to Chaz after that final 10 seconds?
And I just talked about us as a team, and again, I go back, the way we ended the first half was a big problem, and you expect them to, I mean, I don't know what kind of game everybody else expected, we expected that, but the way we, again, and honestly, after the game, I talked to Shaq and Z more about it, because they were ones that fouled the three-point shooter, and then obviously Bishop is a freshman and got a taste of what it's like, and that to me was a huge part. But again, they got up and we found a way to put ourselves back in position, and just again came up short.
Rick, it seems like this team's fouled three-point shooters quite a bit the
Mm-hmm.
season before, just today. Why is that happening for an older team like this?
Too competitive, thinking they're going to block a shot or stop everybody, thinking that we're going to literally keep people from getting a shot off, and you can't. You absolutely can't foul three-point shooters, and you said it. It's been all year. It hasn't been just today, but by now, by the time you get to January, you got to understand you can't even put yourself close to that position, because it's amazing. They'll call the least bit of contact on those because they're protecting the shooter, because they feel he's airborne, he's coming down. But I've got no problem with that rule. And so I got a problem if you put yourself in a position that you're putting this referee in a tough position to make a call. I don't think they want to, but they got to call the rules of the game. When there's very little contact, but if it's contact, it's contact.
What did you not see from D Stone to play any more than he did tonight?
Well, again, I thought early he had a chance to shoot the ball twice. He didn't, and we've worked on it enough. I mean, he's good at that. We talk about not forcing shots, but when shots are there, they've got to be taken. And defensively, again, that's really what it was. We kept thinking that, we're trying to get some defensive guys when we needed some defensive stops. And we, when Shaq's in the game, I thought he got himself in some tough situation at the end of the shot clock, but that's not always on him. That we got to have cleaner possessions than that. And then you get down, then we think we got to get some offense, so we try to go that way and maybe give up a little bit on the defensive end. We've got to get, and I've told our team, we can play different lineups, but there's certain things that can never give. We can't give in on the defensive end, regardless if we're playing with, say D-Stone and Igor. Can't give in there. Guards, regardless, we can't give in with rebounding, offensively or defensively, and we had too much of that tonight.
Last one from Reese.
Coach, you talked about Felix jumping and trying to block shots. How does he balance making the right decision to block a shot, but also not leaving the weak side?
It's tough because he's so good at it. He's really has made an impact the last couple of games where he's really. We want him to block shots, but we talked to him about it, and it's hard. I mean, if it were easy, he would do it. But when the guy's coming, all I would say again, trying to keep you try to keep teams from getting angles on you to where they don't get great looks at it. But he'll get better with it. What we're talking about is when the defenders between his man and the basket close, let that guy try to finish the play as of trying to come over and clean that one up. The angles he's got to come obviously, but he'll again. Felix is getting better. He's put together a good string here where he's done a lot of good things for us.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
Well, Tennessee